Hello and welcome to my video, How to Create Book Covers with AI. Now more specifically, we're going to create our book covers with a new tool that I've recently encountered, which is called Artistly 4.0. This is an image generator that is AI based. Now along the way, I'm going to show you how to quickly and really slickly make some great professional looking book covers, and we're probably also going to encounter a major bug that you're going to spend hours potentially trying to fix the images after spending minutes generating them. So let's go generate book covers in a matter of minutes. Now, Artistly is cloud-based, so it's a web app. It stores everything in the cloud, and you export things to, or images, to your PC. So I'm going to go to app.artistly.ai. That's artist with an L-Y on the end of it. And when I make it here, I'm going to go to Create Design. This is their advertisement page. And I get a choice between using the Advanced AI Image Designer or the Fast one. And I'm going to use the Advanced one so I have all the features. And here we're going to we're going to start a new project. And this is going to be sample book cover. And I like the book cover size of a custom. So we come down here. Since I like it 5 inches wide, and that's 300 ppi per inch, that would be 1500 pixels wide and 2400 tall, which will give me a 5 by 8 inch book cover. There, it looks like a book cover. And here you can see other book covers that I've created in minutes. Now, let's continue with the secret staircase. I'm going to come down to AI Designer, and I want to create a mobile device sized image. That's about a book cover size. And I'm going to say, create an 8-inch by 5-inch book cover for a cozy mystery named The Secret Staircase. This is by my wife, Melanie Jackson. And this is all I need to say. Now, this is kind of a brief prompt, and it doesn't give a lot of details about the book cover. What kind of details could we add? Well, that's a little confusing to figure out, right? That's all about prompt engineering, and we're not prompt engineers. But check this out. You come up to Prompt Magic, click on that, and what this does is it will enhance this prompt. It will look at the prompt and use AI to improve your prompt by adding all of the things that you didn't consider. Now you can see we have a much larger prompt in here. Now I could come in here and I could edit it to change it and so on, but there's an even cooler tool here. It's called Edit Prompt with AI. When I click on that, it brings up the prompt and I can use AI to change the prompt. And this is with a warm, inviting scheme. Now we want this to be a little darker. So make the book cover a little menacing. So we'll make it just a little bit darker. And we say enhance. Now it's using AI, this prompt, to go modify. Let's go into the prompt editor again. And now it has eerie details and an ominous color scheme. So you see it changed from bright and cheery, which it interpreted cozy mystery as. Cozy mysteries are happy mysteries. And it made it just a little bit darker. So we have a darker mystery. Now when I'm happy with the prompt, I come down here and I say generate image. Now I deleted the processing time of about 20 minutes to 20 seconds to create this book cover. And here's what it created. So you can see it is somewhat ominous and it has a staircase. Now, what can sometimes happen, in fact, it often happens, is that it misspells the words that you give it. Here, I've got to look very carefully because it's very subtle. It got all of the words correct. The Secret Staircase, and it spelled my wife's name correctly. This is a pretty good book cover. But let me show you some of the others. Let's save this, and we'll go back over to my media library. And here you can see, here is a book cover for a book called Moving Violation. But it took violation and it removed the A. And then it put some garbage text on the screen. And it spelled Melanie Jackson correctly. So it has a tendency to misspell words and to put garbage text on the screen. Now, even worse, if you see this garbage text, they have an object remover here. I can click on it and I can go over this garbage text. I just draw over the things that I want to remove. So let's say I want to remove that, and I say remove. And here you can see it doesn't remove the text. So there's no way to tell the prompt to not include garbage text. There's no way to remove it after it includes it. So what I end up having to do quite often is export my image to an external editor where I edit the image up to remove garbage. Now let's say I don't like this cover. What I can do is I can come and, oh, actually the prompt is gone. This is another thing with Artistly 4.0 that I don't particularly like. When I go back and edit the prompt of the image that I just created, the prompt is gone, so I can't modify it or use it or copy it in any way. But let me show you another cool thing that you could do. Let's say this is an image that we downloaded off of Amazon. Well, let's take it and we'll export it as a PNG to my downloads directory. It's called sample book cover PNG. Now I'm going to come here and I'm going to create a new, we'll save changes, and I'll create a new project. Once again, we're going to make it 1500 wide by 2400 pixels tall, and I'll get create. And here I have a blank screen. Now what I can do is I can bring in, I come to the media library and I say upload image. And I go to my downloads and I get that image that I just saved, assume off Amazon. So you right click on a book cover on Amazon and say save, and then we can bring it in. There we go. Now we've got this book cover. Now what I can do is I can come to AI Designer and notice this mirror magic. So what I do is I click mirror magic, select an image in my frame, and then I say generate prompt. And what it will do is it will generate a prompt describing that book cover. Here it is. Here's the description. And it gets very detailed. In the foreground, there's this. Here's a really long description. So let's run this and generate it again. What it'll do is it will generate this book cover with a very similar book cover. So you can copy popular book covers off Amazon in this way. And you're doing it in a matter of minutes. So here is its reinterpretation of this book cover. See, it looks kind of creepy. And here, it's recreated the book cover. There we go. And it's created it square. We didn't want it square. We wanted it this size. So I should have said generate to this size. So what I do is I'm going to regenerate it in the right size. Generate image. And here is the reinterpretation that it created. So it interpreted that book cover. Let's say that we downloaded off Amazon, something we like, and then we can get the prompt for it, change the author and the title of the book, and regenerate it, and it will regenerate a book cover that's similar. So you can swipe book covers off Amazon. Now, once more, let's go through this process to generate a prompt. I'm going to save changes. I'm going to go and create a new project. We're going to make it 1500 by 2400. Let's see how fast we can do this. I'm going to say create, and then I'm going to come here to AI Designer, and I'm going to say create an 8-inch by 5-inch book cover for a, let's try science fiction novel named Deep space by Brian Jackson. That's all I need to write. It's just a very simple description. Then I expand the prompt with prompt magic. I enhance it. Then I go into the AI prompt editor and I read what it's done to my prompt. And I change anything that I like with a prompt down here. So I can say, change this from science fiction to a serial killer thriller. And it will change the whole prompt for me. Now, when I'm happy for it, I pick my size and I say generate image. And here's what it's created. Now, if it ends up that I don't like certain things about this book cover, I can come back to my prompt again and go into the prompt editor with AI, and I could say, use orange text colors, or rather use an orange gradient for the text rather than pink. Let's say I didn't like that pink color. Well, I go here and I can say enhance. Now I've modified that. Now the problem with regenerating is that I'm going to lose this image. It's going to completely recreate the book cover with potentially a different background and so on, which it probably will. And here you can see that by regenerating, notice the book cover before, now here it is. It's completely regenerated the book cover, including the image. So I got my orange text instead of pink, but I lost my book cover in the process. That's kind of the downside of AI. So use AI to create your book covers in minutes. Now, when I have a book cover that I like, I come here to export and I say either PNG or JPEG, and I have the image. Now I can pull it into other editors and I can make modifications if I want to add text. They've got a text editor in here, but I don't particularly like it. I prefer exporting and bringing the PNG into another editor and editing external this tool.